Hey, what up, people? It's Kuqui here, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the Fantastic Four #1. I'm doing the Marvel Comics in continuity and DC Comics, and it said to start by reading Fantastic Four #1, which was released in 1961. This is the introduction to Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four, and it's not really going to be a whole, like, I'm not going to talk about the whole comic. I'm just going to talk about a couple of things. And yeah, so this is basically the introduction of the Fantastic Four. They talk about, what happened with them with going outer space, and something goes wrong, and they get these powers, basically. And some things that are surprisingly, I didn't expect them to go this way, was the Thing. The Thing is a big talking point to me in this comic book, because he's my least favorite character, at least in the first comic book, because I usually associate the Thing, and I'm like, he's one of my favorite characters from the Fantastic Four, if not my favorite character. Like when he's depicted in movies and in other like late comics I've read, but in this first comic, he is just I don't know. He's kind of despicable. He's always bad mouthing Reed Richards. Of course, he blames Reed Richards for why he is the way he is, why he turned out to be like some sort of a monster in the Thing. But he, like, throughout the whole comic, he's just basically insulting Reed Richards. At one point, he like threatens to hit Reed Richards and stuff, and says something like that I'm gonna show you, like he says to Sue Storm, I'm gonna show you who the real man is and who you should have been with, and not this skinny ass dude, something like that. And I was like, isn't he supposed to be like your best friend or something? And now you're talking about wanting to be with the girl of your friend. And I'm like, that's low. So I'm like, that I found the Thing to be a bit hateful in the first comic, and I'm like, I didn't expect that. So yeah. Also, Reed Richards, Johnny Storm are really cool. Reed Richards, is the mastermind into going outer space and having that first idea, and ultimately that's what makes them get the powers and transform, and I don't, they might see that as a blessing in the future, but maybe in the present, when that happened, that wasn't as cool as they thought it would be. Johnny Storm is actually really cool in the comic. He does a couple of things. He has a couple of fights, and to me, he's really cool. Also, the first villain in the comic of the Fantastic Four was Mole Man. And Mole Man was also pretty cool. He explains a bit of his backstory, how the world didn't like him, how the world basically judged him based on the way that he looked. And he goes to find somewhere where he was accepted, basically, and he went underground. He found all of these monsters in an island, and he became, basically his king and all that. And he had like a plan of stealing a lot of atomic sites and stuff on Earth, until the Fantastic Four figured it out and put a stop to it. But he was pretty cool. He was pretty cool in the comic. Sue Storm was also pretty cool in the comic. She, like, Johnny and Sue they had stuff to do. I'm not gonna say they didn't have stuff to do, um, but it's not what most stuck to me in my mind. The characters that stuck the most to me was Reed Richards, The Thing, and Mo-Man. The Thing was stuck in my mind, but not for positive reasons. He's actually kind of a douchebag. But yeah, Johnny Storm is more of the cool factor in the comic. When he first appears, like the first appearance of them as superpowered beings was Reed Richards basically shot like a smoke in the air that said Fantastic Four, and all of them saw that signal from different places in the city, and they all just kind of went to where Reed Richards was, and they showed different parts. And the Thing was like in a store trying to get some clothes that fit him, and he was like, "Are you telling me like nothing fits? Like I'm too big or whatever?" And all that. And then he sees like the smoke and stuff, and he just leaves and breaks like the door of the store. Johnny Storm was like, I think he was working on some cars and stuff, and he sees it and just flames on, bam. And the dude that was working with him was like, "Dude, you're on fire," and whatever. And he just takes off. And Sue was like in a conference and something, and she just turns. Was she in a conference? She was doing something, and she turns invisible, and she takes a taxi while being invisible. I have no idea how the taxi knew to stop there because she was totally invisible. But she got in the car, and then left the money, and the taxi driver was like, "Oh my god, I think I just saw a ghost or something." And yeah, cool comic. It was 26 pages. It's an easy read. It's super cool. And yeah, my power rankings for the first comic I've read from Marvel Comics from the start. The power ranking is going to be: number 1 is Reed Richards, number 2 is Johnny Storm, number 3 is Mole-Man, number 3 is Sue Storm, and number 4 is Sue Storm, and number 5 is The Thing. And yeah, that's the list. The Thing obviously has potential, and Sue Storm to climb up because they are good characters, but for the first comic, wasn't a big fan of The Thing specifically. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, share, like, and subscribe. You guys want to have a good day, and God bless. Peace.